Love him or hate him, you cannot ignore him. He is the man who cracked the code of the global algorithm. They tried to ban him. They tried to cancel him. But every time the world threw a punch, his net worth only grew. But long before the Bugattis, the private jets, and the cigars in Romanian mansions, Andrew Tate was a broke kickboxer, living in a small apartment in England, sharing a pack of frozen chicken with his brother Tristan. How does an athlete with practically zero savings transform into a digital mogul claiming to be a trillionaire? Today on Before the Billions, we are stripping away the top G persona. We are going beyond the viral clips to analyze the cold, hard mechanics of how Andrew Tate built his empire. This isn't about the controversy. This is about the business blueprint. But before we dive into the fight purses and the secret to his digital dominance, do me a favor. If you're here to master the mindset of the elite, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. We don't care about the gossip, we care about the game. Are you ready? Let's begin. The story of Andrew Tate begins with a specific kind of mental discipline. Born in Washington, D.C. and raised in Luton, England, Andrew was the son of Emery Tate, a legendary international chess master. This is a crucial detail. Chess isn't just a game. It's a war of logic, foresight, and ruthless positioning. Emery Tate taught his sons that life is a series of moves. But there was a problem. Chess masters don't usually die wealthy. Andrew grew up in a council estate, seeing his mother work as a catering assistant while his father struggled to turn his genius into cash. This created a massive friction in Andrew's mind. He saw brilliance combined with poverty, and he swore he would never let that be his story. He didn't want to just be the smartest person in the room. He wanted to be the richest. He chose a path that combined mental aggression with physical dominance: kickboxing. Andrew Tate wasn't just a fighter. He was one of the best in the world. He became a four-time world champion. In sports like boxing or MMA, that would mean multi-million-dollar contracts. But kickboxing is a brutal, underfunded sport. Tate was fighting in front of thousands of people, bleeding for the entertainment of others, only to receive a check for $3,000 or $4,000. After paying his trainers, his gym fees, and his rent, he was often left with nothing. He was a world champion who was essentially living paycheck to paycheck. This was the first major turning point in his financial journey. He realized a truth that most people never learn. Being the best in the world at a skill is useless if you don't know how to sell it. He realized that the "work hard and you'll get rich" narrative was a lie. He was working harder than anyone, but he was still a brokey by his own standards. He realized he needed leverage. He needed a business model that worked while he wasn't in the ring. Most people wonder why Andrew and Tristan Tate moved to Romania. It wasn't a random choice. It was a calculated business move. They realized that the Western world, the UK and the US, was designed to tax and regulate small-scale entrepreneurs into the ground. They moved to Eastern Europe to exploit a lower cost of living and a higher degree of freedom. They weren't there for a vacation, they were there to stack capital. They didn't start with the real world or luxury casinos. They started with the webcam industry. While the world judged the ethics of that business, the Tate brothers were learning the most valuable skill of the 21st century: the attention economy. They learned how to keep thousands of people watching, how to monetize human desire, and how to manage a massive remote workforce. By the time Andrew was 27, he claimed that business was generating over $500,000 in profit every month. But Andrew knew that webcam studios weren't the end goal. It was just a cash flow engine to fund his next moves into real estate, casinos, and eventually his ultimate product: himself. Tate's real wealth didn't come from just one business. It came from the creation of a brand. He branded himself as the top Jew, the man who had escaped the Matrix. He identified a massive demographic of young men who felt lost, unmotivated, and financially trapped. He didn't just sell them a course, he sold them a brotherhood. He launched Hustlers University, which later evolved into the real world. The business model was genius. He charged a monthly subscription fee of 49,000 dirhams. With over 200,000 students, the math is staggering. We are talking about nearly $10 million a month in recurring revenue with almost zero overhead. But the real magic was his marketing. He created an army of affiliates. He told his students, clip my videos, post them on TikTok and YouTube, and use your link to get new members. Overnight, the internet was flooded with Andrew Tate. He didn't spend a single dollar on traditional advertising. He turned his customers into his marketing department. In 2022, he became the most searched man on the planet, surpassing world leaders and pop stars alike. Today, the Tate empire is a sprawling network of assets. He owns a chain of casinos in Romania, a massive cryptocurrency portfolio, and a collection of supercars worth over $10 million. But he warns that the money isn't the point. The point is the power and the freedom it buys. Even while facing massive legal battles, jail time, and asset seizures, his digital systems continue to produce revenue. That is the ultimate financial success. Building a machine that operates independently of your physical presence. Andrew Tate's journey from a council estate in Luton to a global powerhouse is a lesson in three things: leverage, attention, and ruthless logic. He understood that in a world where everyone is fighting for a paycheck, the real winners are those who own the platforms and the attention. Whether you admire his lifestyle or despise his rhetoric, you cannot deny the financial brilliance of the pivot. He took a dying career in kickboxing and used it as a springboard to dominate the digital age. He proved that the most valuable asset you can ever own is your own name. His story tells us one thing: you will never get rich by playing the game by other people's rules. You have to understand the board, identify the gatekeepers, and move with the precision of a chess master. This is the essence of Before the Billions. We've reached the end of this breakdown, but the conversation is just starting. Do you think Andrew Tate is a genius marketer who figured out the system, or just a man who got lucky with a viral trend? Let me know in the comments. I want to see a real debate on the business side of this. If you want to see more deep dives into the men who built empires from nothing, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for Before the Billions. Don't forget to like this video to help us beat the algorithm. Thank you for watching, and remember, don't just watch the greats, learn their moves. See you in the next one.